brought to you by Ardecor. We keep you covered. And Horizon Recording Live. Live sound for your events.
Welcome to Comeback Liner. We are a Chicago sports podcast, and today we're going to talk about the Final Four. Sinan, what are your thoughts on Villanova's win and Loyola's choke job?
Whoa, let's take it back.
Sorry, I threw that one there.
Let's take it back a step. First of all, Loyola, unbelievable run. You know, easily the story of the tournament until the redheaded freaking three-point shooter. Dante, whatever his name is, from Villanova came along. But anyways, you know, freaking loved how they won. The first two games, really intense, came down to the final shot. You know, always, those Cinderella stories always need those big shots to kind of fall through, to kind of make it through. But they did. You know, they went through Miami, who's ranked, you know, and then, you know, when they got to Elite Eight, they beat a good Kansas State team coached by the great Bruce Weber. Another mess up by U of I. But, you know, I think they played great. I would never call it a choke job. The second half against Michigan, you know, they were up 10, 12 minutes to go. You knew Michigan was going to make a run. But, I mean, the way they just faltered from down up 10 then to lose by double digits, I consider that a little bit of a choke job. But overall, who thought, other than me, thought they'd make a Final Four run?
Well, it was a great job, but you have to admit it. They were lucky. They were lucky to an extent. They had three games. They had 3 games come down to the final basket. When you win all 3 games and you're 3-0 in those games, I would say, yeah, you're kind of lucky.
But in 2 of those games, they weren't even supposed to be in it.
Well, that's correct, and it came down to the final shot, and they made the shots that they needed to. It was kind of lucky.
Yeah, Jordan.
To be
lucky.
honest,
if game-winning shots is lucky.
It was a Cinderella story, and it just fell short. That's all it was.
I don't think it fell short at all.
The shot against Miami.
I think this is the best thing.
So you guys play for 4th place? Is that what you guys play for?
If you're Loyola,
University, and you made it to the Final Four,
they don't even have a football team, for God's sake. They're not. You even really consider that a college sport? Which is why, if you're U of I, you should be absolutely embarrassed.
Well, how do you think Northwestern should feel? I mean, they were supposed to be the team from...
No, exactly, and next year the Ramblers are going to be in the same situation as Northwestern.
No, they're not. They lost 3 players.
I will bet you this. I'll bet you this.
All of a sudden, expectations happen. And that's what's going to happen next year. Expectations. And when you have expectations and you got to carry that big load and you got to get W's, all of a sudden it's a lot harder. Yeah. That's all I'm saying.
That's great, Ozzie Guillen. But here's the thing. Here's why Northwestern's in a Big Ten conference. Loyola is in the Missouri Valley. They're still going to be the favorite to win that conference. That means they're pretty much going to get another shot to make the tourney.
The winner of the Missouri Valley tournament automatically gets a bid into
Exactly. So that's why I think the situation is different. Also, they are returning almost everybody.
There's only 3 players not coming back. Their entire starting rotation, or their starting lineup, is returning.
Exactly. And Porter Moser, you know, he's been there 7 years. He's kind of... First thing he did was, you know, build the fan base. He was paying for the students to come travel, paying for their bus tickets to travel, to kind of build that fan base, to kind of build the whole thing. And then, you know, now you've got a big of a kind of a following. Loyola doesn't really have much else other than their basketball, right?
They didn't sell out any of their games with the exception of the last one. And you know what's happening? These basketball players, now all of a sudden they're popular on campus.
Yeah.
Now they're hooking up with the prom queen. And that's what's going to happen. All of a sudden you get a little bit distracted. You start getting a little bit more booty than normal. The game suffers a little bit.
Didn't we just say in the last podcast it's the wives that make your game worse? And the girlfriends are supposed to help.
These guys are in college. It's a whole different ballgame.
The Derek Jeter. I'll explain the Derek Jeter effect.
Let's deep dive.
Derek Jeter.
Rewind to the previous episode.
Like, okay, you don't get married. You only date random chicks. By date, you give them a gift, sleep with them, and you give them a gift basket.
Okay.
That correlates.
Does this involve an NDA at least, or no?
Or
do you have to sign the NDA?
Or you take them to a Perkins breakfast sandwich, aka Tiger Woods.
Camus, this isn't Stormy Daniels.
But That's what correlates to greatness. All right, not
fruit
marriage.
fruit
But back
baskets?
to
Listen, we'll see.
back to Loyola. I
I'm
think
not
they're
buying
gonna
the
make
Kool-Aid.
they're gonna make another good run. Not gonna make another Final Four run, but they're gonna make the tournament. At least have a great shot at making the tournament. But back to my point, U of I, you're in the Big Ten. You've got talent in your state. You've got booster money. Freaking Hugh Hefner went to U of I. Right? And you can't produce a team to make the tournament. You know, their first excuse is, we didn't have the right coach. They got rid of Bruce Weber. Boom, Elite Eight, Bruce Weber. Then they say, we can't recruit anybody from our in-state. Boom, Loyola did it. I mean, so stop with the excuses,
You
U
mean
of I.
Northwestern did it too.
Exactly. Great point.
You're right. Like other Chicago, Northwestern, Loyola, you're right. The pressure should be heating up at U of I and Champaign.
You are...
Why isn't DePaul on this list? I'm just curious.
That's correct because they
Seriously.
have a historic program.
DePaul has made.
No, they paid a lot of money to join the Big East.
DePaul had
That's
a very problematic time. I believe it was in the 90s. They had a player that decided to expose himself to, what was it? I think he exposed himself in front of a whole bunch of girls. And then the coach tried
That's
to...
frowned upon, right?
But he didn't-
You're not supposed to do that.
Well,
especially in
only if you give him gift baskets. So go ahead.
Yeah, but this was in public. Like, he was flashing, and basically what happened was the boosters from around here blamed the DePaul head coach at the time for not sticking up for this player, whereas the DePaul head coach kind of said, all right, well, dude, you're done, you're gone.
Yeah.
Well, the boosters decided that DePaul didn't want the kids from low-income areas because, I mean, he was from the South Side. He was a ghetto kid. And it basically turned into them shipping all of their talent to other schools. They just blackballed DePaul.
Yeah.
All
No,
right.
I mean, they need to do a better job. You know, you're in the city, you're in a great campus. You know, it's another school with some money. They should be able to recruit. You know, they're getting that nice stadium.
I mean, I want my tuition dollars from 2004 to be worth something,
You want
man.
Your tuition dollars went to the brand new stadium DePaul built down on the down over there by McCormick.
Yeah, but that should be another team on the hot seat to win.
To be fair, though, can you really blame these players for wanting to get out of Chirac?
No, I can't. I can't blame them at all.
Well, once they're out of Chirac, they get some cush ass place.
Have you been to Urbana-Champaign? It's pretty much out of Chirac. But
yeah, you are kind of in Hickville out there.
yeah. So, I mean, okay, Kansas shouldn't be out recruiting you because have you been to freaking Lawrence, Kansas? It's garbage.
They have winning basketball teams. I don't know what to tell you.
That's because they got a coach.
They got a program.
They paid a coach, right? Which again,
They also might pay the
former
player.
U of I coach. Again, bad job, U of I.
How is it possible that the highest state employee across all 50 states is a college coach? Why is that? Please explain to me how this system is still allowed to exist. It blows my mind.
It's usually the football coach and usually the booster money that comes in from these great football coaches like Nick Saban bring in way more money
Than their salary.
than their salary would anyways if they were a terrible program. So I think you can justify it there. But what you can't justify is Lovie Smith and his 3-win seasons.
Yeah, I'm surprised
in
they're
those
not doing better, to
situations.
be honest. I
But-
thought Lovie Smith was going to bring some stability to the program a little bit.
Yeah.
I really respect him. I know his players respected him. I thought he was doing a decent job in Tampa, and yeah.
Well,
he got axed.
isn't college all about like going behind the scenes and
Yeah.
being a corrupt
Recruiting,
POS?
pretty much.
Essentially,
It's
It's all on recruiting. And
It's like a
exactly
politician's
right.
game.
It
You're-
is. It's a political game. And you can obviously, Lovie Smith, even when he was the Bears head coach, wasn't very open, wasn't very political with much of what he did. He just did it all behind the scenes and did what he wanted to do.
He needs a few lessons from coaches like Rick Pitino, gets the job done recruiting.
Speaking of the greatest collegiate coach ever, Nick Saban, did you hear about his beef with LeBron James over the barbershop incident?
Yeah,
Essentially, LeBron James has this barbershop, Undisputed, where they talk about topics, political topics, sensitive topics. And Nick Saban did the same thing with a former player. LeBron didn't like that. He said, I own the barbershop. He sent a letter to Alabama requesting Nick Saban stop doing that, and he didn't want to get lawyers involved. So this was a nice gesture that he was doing. And essentially, Nick Saban told him, I'm Nick Saban. Screw off.
Well, that just tells you LeBron thinks he's bigger than he is.
Yeah, I mean, I hate LeBron so
The
much.
Barbershop. People have been there's a movie called The Barbershop. They've been doing sports
I'm
talk.
pretty sure
Go
there's sequels
watch
to
the
The
movie
Barbershop.
Coming
He's
to
only done, like,
America
2
with Eddie
episodes.
Murphy.
Yeah.
It's not like he's he's done 2 episodes, and now he owns the word barbershop.
Yeah, watch the movie Coming to America.
Especially
It'll
for a
teach
guy
you
with
about
a-
some Rocky Marciano and some Muhammad Ali.
He calls his show the barbershop, the guy that's like losing his hair.
Hey, man, he's getting his plugs. They're coming back.
Hey, I would like to have a hair restoration like LeBron. That's like the greatest comeback I've seen since the Super Bowl a couple years
No,
back.
since Brian Urlacher's hair.
Oh yeah, that was even better.
That's Ryan Sandberg's hair.
Yeah, that's true, too.
Yeah, his was brutal.
No, I think
Hey, sponsorship.
just to finish up a Loyola, I don't know if I'd ever call it coach job or choke job, but they definitely outperformed. They definitely Porter Moser. Well, hopefully they can keep him around, give him a new.
Do you think he stays?
I think if he has another great run,
Well,
Kinda-
he's a free agent now. I believe he's up for
but
contract.
I think it's one. I think he'll get another contract extension. I don't think there's a team that's going to come out and steal him.
At this point, no, I agree.
I think, but it could be like a Butler situation where, before their coach got picked off for Boston Celtics pretty much. But if he can do another run where they make a good run, yeah, he'll get picked off by one of these big programs.
But do you think he stays because Loyola gave him all that time to build what he wanted to? I mean, this is his program.
Yeah, he's been there 7 years. I think.
This is ground up hit.
Yep.
I think that I don't think he really cares what he gets paid because he's got everything he wants and how he wants it.
Yeah, no, I think he said it. He's like, I'm a Catholic kid from Chicago. This is like my dream to be taking this.
His first year, he was 1-17. Essentially, to what you're saying, he's pretty much built up this program.
Yeah.
So he's transformed it. I mean, blood, sweat, and tears into the program. And when you get to reap the rewards, it's either you reap them there or you're like, maybe the reward is a bigger payday. So we'll find out and see. He's going to have millions in his bank account.
I don't think he gets that big contract now because a lot of people are like, oh, it's just a one-time thing. But if he can repeat, that's when those $1 million checks start knocking on his door. Not sure if Loyola could ever offer him that. Again, small school, private small school, so it's not like a Gonzaga where another small, Catholic school in Seattle, but that's got a great booster program.
They're not nationally known. I mean, honestly, I mean,
That's Sister Jean.
well, think about how we've lived in Chicago, so we've known Loyola Chicago our entire lives.
Yeah.
But did we realize that there were 2 other Loyola schools in the United States?
Every year when I saw Loyola, I didn't realize it was Marymount.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, Loyola's. Oh no, that's not the right Loyola.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I mean, that's how unknown the school is.
Can we please stop talking about college sports?
Thank
Oh
God.
my god.
Oh, my God.
College
Oh, what do you guys want? What do you want to talk about?
You want to talk about the Bulls?
Doubles.
Which is pretty much a college team right now.
Like I don't
Yeah,
know. Throw it out there. That's-
Tanking.
They're the only team that can screw up tanking.
That's not true.
What are they gonna get? The 7th or 8th pick?
As long as they lose
Well,
tonight.
there's a
They're
lottery.
seriously gonna get the
Still in
friggin'
the
eight?
lottery.
Oh my God.
To be
They got
fair,
the
they have the
eighth pick?
3rd worst record in the East, and the East is considered by far the weaker conference. Therefore, if they're in the West, they would be a lot worse.
I don't know.
I'm sorry. You can't beat the teams that you beat in the last week. I mean, you've won 3 games here in the last week and a half that you had no business winning. You have no starters out there, and you're winning these games, and you're making your draft prospects even worse.
Why are they winning those games? Who's the high performer in those games?
Bobby Portis has been out of his mind.
Bobby
Bobby
Portis playing for
Portis-
that cheddar, baby.
Bobby Portis, Lauri Markkanen. Okay. So anytime they win, it's because of him, but they're limiting his minutes. He's only playing 24 to 25 minutes. Therefore, do you just completely stunt his growth? I know he was a DMP the other game. I'm sure that's because they wanted to lose that game. That'd be a good assumption at
We
least.
sat half the other team, the rest of the
But
team.
Lauri he's a really good basketball
Yeah.
player, and he's
Well, I
20
agree.
years old.
Yeah, he's gonna be a good
I mean, they've
career.
shut down Levine. They've shut Adam Levine. They've shut down Dunn. They've shut down Valentine. I'm surprised that they haven't shut down Markkanen. I mean,
I don't think you shut down Mark, and he's a young guy. You still want him to go through that long first season to kind of learn that part, right?
At least physically. You
Yeah,
gotta
exactly.
get your body trained
so
for
now
it.
he knows in the offseason what he needs to kind of work on, where he started struggling after a long season. Levine, I'm glad they shut him down.
Well, he was
don't
having
wanna
problems
risk
in that
anything.
knee already.
Yeah, I think it was just soreness, and I don't think it was anything major. I think it was just being more precautious and trying to lose some more games. But, Dunn...
Dunn's teeth still haven't grown back in?
Yeah. No, I don't know if it's... concussions, we look at it in football, next week they're playing. In other sports,
they're like months off at a time.
Or a year if you're baseball.
Or Justin Morneau.
Yeah, Justin Morneau missed a season and a half.
So I don't know what kind of effects it has in basketball. We don't know much. We only think about it in football terms.
I'm not going to lie. I keep seeing that play on all these like memes and things that show up about, oh man, fucked up. I mean, how do you dunk in the face plant? I'm sorry, man.
But
that just gotta suck.
Like, this is my point. We know Felicio's terrible. Felicio played 35 minutes the other game. 35 minutes for Felicio. Cameron Payne is averaging between 25 to 30 minutes. He's terrible too.
Payne's still on the team? I thought we dropped his ass.
He's starting. He's their
I thought he was in
starting
the D
point
League
guard
created,
right now.
No, they created like something worse than the D League just for him to play.
Yeah.
Have
The
you guys
E-League?
ever heard of the player Ryan R.C. DiCano?
Oh, huge prospect.
Oh my God.
Dude, that's 110 picks deep in the
This
draft,
guy,
man.
22
Sleeper.
games, he's averaging 1.6 points on 30. He's a guard, by the way. 38% shooting, 29% 3 points, 0.9 rebounds, 1.3 assists. He's averaging 20 to 25 minutes a
He
game.
fills the stat
Like,
sheet.
you want to talk about professional tanking? You play this guy. I went to the Bulls game. I saw this guy. He's terrible on defense.
They didn't even have his picture in the freaking board.
Oh, it's just a black silhouette?
Honestly, I saw him and I thought, you know what? I bet you this guy's like Fred Hoiberg. I bet you he's a sharpshooter from the outside. Wrong. This guy doesn't contribute anything, and he's playing 20 to 25 minutes.
I think,
Those are funny stats, by the way.
Seriously, dude. April 3rd versus
he gets
the
a
Hornets.
stat in every category. That's how good he is.
24 minutes, 0 for 2 field goals, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 point in 24 minutes. You could average.
Yeah.
You could do better than that.
How do you get a point without making a field goal? That means he's getting to the foul line.
I played rec league basketball last year, and those were my entire stat line for each
Yeah, but
game.
you were
0 for
getting-
2,
you were
like
getting
1
double
point
teamed.
for a
When
free
they got
throw.
blown out by the Nets, 124 to 96, Felicio played 35 minutes. This guy, 22 minutes, 0 for 2 field goals, 5 rebounds, 0 assists for a guard,
But do you think the Bulls...
0 points.
Do you think
Doesn't
the
play
Bulls...
score a point in 22
Well,
minutes?
then the Bulls are doing what they should be doing.
But the Bulls gave Felicio an extra $7.2 million
For
no
how many
reason.
more seasons?
For 4 more. 4 years, $32 million, when they could have given him $1 million.
Wow, what are we, like 4 minutes in on the Bulls? And I'm like, can we change the subject already? I'm like, oh my God.
I think one of the biggest problems was that 7-game win streak early in the year when they
when Dunn came back.
They done and was on a roll. Markkinen was just shooting lights out.
Or no, that was when not Dunn came back. That was when
Nico Mirotic.
Nico came back.
Nico,
was
when
tearing it up.
they just ripped off like
Nico.
13 of 15 or something.
Nico
They won
just-
7 in a row. They beat Philadelphia, the number 3 seed right now, the Bucks, the number 7 seed, the Jazz playoff team, the Celtics playoff team. They beat a bunch of good teams.
That sucks for
and
the
the problem
Celtics.
is they just beat the
Celtics.
Wizards the other day. Like, they took it to the Wizards. They're the 8th seed. Like, how do the Wizards lose that game to the Bulls? The Bulls are purposely tanking. And like Kyle said, it's like, what are you doing? They blew it. I mean, it's more an insult to the Wizards for losing to the Bulls in a playoff race.
So I think what the key takeaway is you've got a nice, good core with Levine, Markkinen, Dunn. I think you can either do what the Pistons did, where you have 4 guys, borderline all-stars to a few all-stars, and just play great team basketball and try and win it all, or you can do what every other team does and get that superstar, top 10 talent,
They're gonna.
along with very deep
They
talent.
desperately need that superstar because the problem is they can play team offensively. They have no defense.
I mean, how many more years do you think LeBron has? Honestly, I don't know if you need
with
that
the
superstar.
steroids, probably like 10 more years.
No,
Dude, watching him
say
be like 42,
2
still
more
like
years
putting up
before
30.
you start seeing the decline. It was like
Look at LeBron James. I mean, the guy.
He's a
personally,
freak of
I think
nature. We don't know what he can do.
On a personal level.
Does
I
he
think
get hurt?
he's a complete idiot, and I don't care much for him at all.
He's probably smarter.
But
than the Chiefs.
He owns.
How is he an idiot?
What
He's like the first
what he's
billionaire.
done since the
Barbershop.
1st of March is unreal. He's averaging a triple-double.
Yeah, oh, it's that time of the year where he turns it on.
Oh yeah.
Playoff basketball.
But he's
time.
carrying his team.
He's gonna average a
Well,
triple double
he
throughout the
needs to.
playoffs.
But he's going to have an easy run again.
Do you know?
I know,
well,
Kyrie.
by the way, Kyrie getting hurt is the worst news that the NBA has ever had
No
because now
question.
it's.
Now,
there's no suspense at all.
No, it's
zero.
Now it's LeBron.
It's Cleveland.
What do we do?
Golden State again.
I don't know. You think so?
Man,
I think
you better hope this show doesn't take off, because if this show takes off, LeBron's gunning for you for defamation, and you're gonna be living with your mom forever.
Really, dude? I do not live with my
LeBron
mother for the
is
record.
gunning
his
for
mom
you.
lives with him.
That's how it.
I guess totally threw off my grind. I had a whole entire thing.
Were you going to talk about Toronto?
Sorry.
No, I was
How
gonna-
Sorry, Mrs.
Toronto
Candace.
is
I'm
going to
sorry.
take down the. Toronto's going to take down the Cavs. The Cavs are the 4th seed right now.
Do you think they're? Here's my conspiracy theory. I think the Cavs are trying to get the 4th seed, and not the 3rd seed, because they don't want to play the Heat in the first round.
The Heat.
Yeah,
Why would they not
I
play
think
the
the
Heat?
Heat is a bad matchup for them.
Who's on the Heat? I don't even have any idea who's on the Heat.
The Heat. They've got Hassan Whiteside, big man.
Or do they not want to face Philadelphia? Because Ben Simmons is
Philadelphia.
the business.
They're 3.
Yeah.
I mean,
Finally,
so they
Philly.
would
3 or 4,
they
that's
would
in the
avoid
first round.
they would avoid Philadelphia. They wouldn't face them until the conference finals.
yeah, but that's why in the 3 seed versus 4 seed would never play each
I
other.
guess
that's why it doesn't matter. I think
Yeah.
in the 3-6, you've got the Heat, and then you would get the Celtics.
Which is where they want to be. They would rather face the Celtics with no Kyrie.
I
That
don't
means
know.
an easier path to the. That means an easier path to the conference finals.
Maybe,
Toronto gets to battle it out with Philadelphia,
I still
and
think
those are
LeBron-
to me right now. Without Kyrie, those are the 2 best teams. Well, not the 2 best teams, but those are the 2 toughest teams for the Cavs to repeat going to the finals.
Is Curry going to be out for the whole entire
Curry's
playoffs?
No, Curry is. Did
He'll
they
be
say
back.
they
no,
did
he's
say
gonna
playoffs.
miss the first round.
Yeah.
Damn, why couldn't
You know
Kyrie
what's
come back?
interesting? Without Steph Curry, the Warriors struggle.
T-Wolves can beat them. in the
Durant
first
is
round.
putting
they're getting
up
Butler
30
back,
to
right?
40.
Yep.
Hells yeah.
But they need to make the playoffs because they got it.
Dude,
Final
have you
game against
looked
the
at the
Nuggets.
West?
Oh my God.
From the 4th seed to the 9th seed, 2 games. Splits the entire
Man,
division.
it's a good
yeah,
league.
no, it's a really good league.
To
good,
Sinan's
strong
point,
finish.
the T-Wolves are tied with Denver right now.
Yep.
So there's 2 games remaining. The T-Wolves face Denver the very last game.
at Minnesota.
Correct. The T-Wolves face the Grizzlies, though, who are one of the worst teams in the league.
That's
and
how you
Denver
tank.
has to face the Trailblazers.
Yeah.
So it's looking good for the T-Wolves. I wonder if Jimmy comes back a little bit.
He-
That
he's
could
back.
be a big game.
He's back.
He's
now.
back?
Yeah. But the thing is, it's the Blazers are good. But
Yeah,
they've locked
Lillard,
up they've locked
superstar,
up the 3rd seed, so
superstar.
I think they might be resting up a little bit. Yeah, Lillard.
Man, what a
Jesus.
stud. He came out freaking
To
nowhere
win the
years.
3rd seed with CJ McCollum.
No, you're right.
I mean,
You're
who
totally
does he
right.
have?
That guy balls every single
Who does he
night.
have? I mean,
By himself.
Yeah, and then what about the Spurs? Is this the first year where they've kind of faced drama? They've
Well-
always been able to avoid drama as an
I
organization.
think Leonard.
Yeah,
I think
he-
Leonard's pulling a Derrick Rose. I think he's ready to go, and he just doesn't want to come back.
Or do
Really?
you think he wants to get paid? Do you think he's because essentially
Hey,
if he
he's gonna
comes
get the
back,
max.
Yeah, he's a.
what
I
if
mean,
he
it's
comes
not
back
top
and
10 player.
he has another serious injury? He's not getting the max. He's not getting paid.
I think
If he sits out the rest of this year, I would say he's a lock to get paid.
Yeah.
However, if he comes back early, and obviously he has some concerns with his body,
well, he came back for 9 games and he felt us thigh
Yeah.
tightness.
I would
But
assume this is
that
not
injury's been around for 3 years. It's not like this is the first year. It happened 3 years ago, and then he took some time off, and they said they fixed it. They made their run, won the championship. Then it kind of started bothering him again last year.
I'm not going to lie, I actually love it because I'm tired of hearing everybody just kiss the Spurs. It's fantastic. It's fantastic to hear about this drama, especially with their best player who's just not buying into the Spurs culture. And that
You're talking
makes
about LaMarcus Aldridge, right?
Wait,
he's playing great, so I'm not going to knock him down right now.
How's he
If
not
this was
great?
last year, I'd throw him under the bus.
They
But
traded up to get Kawhi.
he was still he went in the 20s.
I know, but they didn't have they knew they was gonna get picked right around the 20th pick, and they traded up to get him. I think he was like 14th pick, 15th pick. But nobody believed in this guy. They got him. They developed him. He owes them a lot. I mean, it's not like it's money wise.
That's like saying the Bulls. Butler owes the Bulls. You don't owe anything.
Butler's got the same coach that turned it
you
into
are
what
your
he
own
is.
player. You work for yourself.
You know
Butler signed that
what he
contract
did?
to the
He was
Bulls.
the best
Yeah, he
player
did.
on those championship teams,
Yeah.
and he helped win them a championship.
Yeah.
I would say he
But
doesn't
he's
owe
gonna,
him anything.
It's not money.
I don't think he
He's
owes
going to
him.
get the max. It's basketball. It's not like any other sport. He's going to get the money. The same money he's going to get. He's going to get less money if he goes, right? Butler
true.
is a different situation. We gave him that money. He accepted it. We just traded him because, great Gar Pax thought Hoiberg was the answer. Different topic. But Kawhi Leonard has no excuse to hate. They can bring a great team around him all the time.
Really? He's
With
getting
depth.
bashed in the media by his teammates. How
Now,
would you feel getting bashed
this
in the
year? But before then, I mean, before this situation, they've always surrounded him with talent. You're surrounded with a good coach. You're surrounded with an organization that's going to take care of the players.
Correct, but that's something that needs to be taken care of in-house. Why is Tony Parker coming out and talking about how his injury was way worse than Kawhi's? And well, look at me. I'm playing now. What's that saying about Kawhi? Now I have to come back and I have to play with that guy?
I think those are your veterans, and I think they're trying to put him in place. They didn't have that problem with Duncan, who's very laid back, just kind of followed the rules.
But do you think the team's not, with Duncan no longer being there after retiring, do you think the team itself doesn't have the glue it once did?
Yeah, I think when Kawhi was there, he still knew that Duncan was the man. Like, not that's their best player, but everything runs through
Look, it's
Duncan.
easy when you're one of the best teams in the league and you're winning all the time to make those arguments. Is their chemistry? It's always when you're not winning, there's no chemistry. That's
First
how it
of all,
works, right?
Tony Parker can't talk. He banged his teammate's wife,
Who?
Brent Berry. You don't hear that?
No, I
And then
didn't
they
hear that.
traded
Yeah.
Brent Berry away.
Yeah.
Hey, man, nothing
I
beats
thought he was
Delonte
married
West.
to Eva Longoria.
Well, that's why she left him.
Oh, he got weak in the knees.
He got
Dude, you seriously need to read up on your E-entertainment.
What might eat? I'm gonna buy the tabloids
Real Housewives was
of Atlanta. What's
easily
her name?
covered this. Atlanta.
I don't know.
She's actually pregnant right now.
Eva?
Yeah.
With
She
Tony
looks great,
Parker?
too. Yeah. No, not with Tony Parker.
Jesus Christ, we've established
they're
it's
not
gone.
together.
Hey, you can sometimes hook up with your ex.
It's
People
Brent
do
Berry's
it.
kid. His payback time.
Brent Berry's kid.
Payback time.
By the way, Brent Berry's white. I'm assuming, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
I was just wondering.
That has anything to matter in this whole
His
situation?
name was Brent.
All
I was
right,
like,
back to
what the hell?
basketball. Do you guys know what, if the standings were locked in right now, who's the number 2 seed in the West?
The
The Warriors.
Who are they facing?
7 seed.
Thunder.
Who knows really right now?
It's Thunder.
But they're all
We
tied.
got a KD Russ matchup.
Hey, that's awesome. That's probably the
love
most
that
exciting.
matchup.
And with no Steph Curry, I would actually say the Thunder
Yeah, but the
might
Thunder
have
are
a
hurting
chance.
too.
Well, I mean, they lost Robertson early in the year, who's their
But
best.
I think
on
when
ball
you
defender, but
when you watch the Thunder play these top 3 teams, that game they played against the Rockets, Paul George steps up his defense. He's an animal all over the floor.
that man's going to get paid.
Russell West plays a little defense, but he's all over the floor. They play up to their competition and they play down. I think they're a scary team in the playoffs because they've got Carmelo, who's shown great maturity, taking the 3rd, sometimes even 4th role behind Adams, and Paul George and Westbrook. When they go off, they go off.
Conversely, though, are the Rockets as good as they are on paper?
I would assume so. They have the
you
talent.
know, I've after looking the whole season, again, they play great team ball. I think they need to get back in rhythm. I think even D'Antoni said that they're a little off their rhythm, but I think that they've got another week or so to kind of figure it out. I think whoever it is, the first round matchup won't be easy for anybody. The West
Yeah.
is loaded, from the Wolves to the Thunder. That's a tough first matchup.
Yeah, he had said he's not going to rest any players. I mean, you always just assume that the Warriors are the best three-point shooting team. However, the Rockets have been doing a lot better this year.
But you don't
And
know who's
we're in
gonna
a three-point shooting league, so with the addition of Chris Paul, who can finish, just hit a game winner the other day, I like the Rockets' chances.
2 games to go. I mean, the Spurs could be the 8th seed, or the Nuggets could be the 8th seed. So it's still, this is why it's exciting. From 4 to 9. It's 2 games apart. And
That's
2 games
crazy.
to go.
Hell,
Can you imagine
if you
being
add the
like fourth
third
and dropping
do you
the
realize
9?
between 3 and 9 is only 3 games? I mean,
Oh, yeah. It's
it's just the gap.
It's
There's
a lot of talent in the West.
There's 6 spots open for almost 10 teams.
Yeah.
You know, back to the Warriors. You know what I'm getting tired of hearing? Who's more valuable, Kevin Durant or Steph Curry?
I would say Durant overall. He does everything.
I don't know.
He plays defense now.
They won one without Durant.
They won one without Durant. They won
they-
73 games.
Can they win one without Curry this year?
I don't think they can.
I think
Because
they
when
could.
Steph Curry's not on the floor, the spacing's not there, the passing isn't there. Durant's numbers look pretty good.
You know,
However, the end statistic that matters the most,
It's the
wins and
W.
losses, they
can-
ain't winning.
And it looks like you can get to Durant pretty quick, and he's getting thrown out with technicals left and right. I mean,
Yeah, he's turned into kind of a head job over
He
the
used
last
to be
couple
my
years.
favorite player. Dude, that guy is a crybaby now.
I know. He like just won't let it go. They keep calling.
You know what's funny?
He's got
You-
LeBron
you look-
syndrome.
No, well, you look at Durant, and he was made out to be the bad guy when he left Oklahoma and went to Golden State, and he like took the role, and he says, "Fine, I'll be the heel wrestler. I'll be the bad guy," and he's like trying to put himself out there as the bad guy to everybody.
They
now.
already have a bad guy. They have Draymond Green.
Yeah, they don't need a second one.
Exactly.
I think that's more for himself. He needs to get into character. Some people need that kind of, I'm going to be this mean guy. Just
you
so I
think
can
he's
be
gonna
better
take
on
a
the court and
complete
defense?
tough guy?
Yeah, say fake tough. That's exactly what I think Durant is. But I think now he's getting into that role. And
He's
like,
gonna flip a switch, and all of a sudden,
Yeah, but he's pretty damn good when he's mad.
Yeah, but he's not shoving
Chasing down
players.
blacks.
He's not getting in players'
Yeah,
faces.
he's
He's,
just
trying to
mouthing
bully
off.
and intimidate the officials.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but he's
like staring down at him like.
And then the official looks at him. He's like, "Dude, look at my arms. Look at your skinny arms. You're not intimidating anybody."
I mean, but physically, Durant should be a great defensive presence. So I'm kind of happy he kind of took that next step, and he's got those long arms. He's chasing down blocks and playing in the paint.
Yeah,
it's just
his
really
overall
interesting.
game is better.
Yeah.
It's better on the defensive end. He's blocking more shots, like you said. So from that aspect, you're right.
I'll just put it this way: I would absolutely enjoy a finals that was not Cleveland and Golden State. I don't want either one of
How
them.
about Houston versus Cleveland, or is that
No,
Houston?
I would like Cleveland not to make the finals and Golden State not to make the finals, and have 2 teams that haven't been there.
So
Yeah.
you want Houston, Toronto?
Houston, Toronto works. Hell, even Houston and
Boring.
Yeah,
I'd
seriously.
like to see Philadelphia.
Philly. Now that would be
I
cool.
always
I would
no.
like to see Philly.
At any
How
finals,
many
I
first-round
want to
picks do you
see
need
the
to
best
make the
player,
finals?
the 2 best players going at it.
But we've seen the
Harden
same
and
script
LeBron
over and over again.
You heard that?
You think
Harden and
you
LeBron
think
James.
Harden's better than
Yes.
Durant?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Now that's an interesting
Yes.
comparison.
Would you like Westbrook and James?
I love Westbrook. That's my favorite player.
Wait, so who's better, Harden or Westbrook?
As a player?
Oh, put him on blast.
Harden's a better player, but I love watching
Yeah,
Westbrook.
I would say
Harden's
Harden.
more efficient.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, he.
God, can you
He's a
believe
better
that they were
scorer.
all on one freaking team?
I know. It's
That's
like,
what happened when you pick Serge Ibaka over Harden.
They traded him at like over $4 million. They didn't want
Well,
to keep him.
You know, their GM's done a great job, but that was one bad call. He thought the league was still going big instead of the 3-point shooting, spread the floor. And that decision really cost him.
Was there enough ball though for Harden, Durant, and Westbrook?
you could have
There's
been the
enough-
next.
There's enough ball with Clay,
Yeah,
Durant,
San
and,
Francisco.
you know,
Steph?
yeah, and Steph. So I think before it wasn't, but with this high percentage, a high amount of shots, just taking shots left and right, nobody holds the ball till down to 3 or 4 seconds on the shot clock anymore.
No, they're firing shots up with 12 and 13
Yeah, so I
to
think
go.
there is enough shots for everybody. And I think it was just they were just a 2 years short of, you know,
Probably true.
2 years later, and they had in that situation, they keep Harden no matter what.
So who do you think's going to win the finals?
My call?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with it's my Rockets versus Cavs, but going with Rockets in 6.
Rockets. Okay.
I'm gonna go with the Miami Heat. Because I have no clues on the team. And
Dwayne Wade is back on the Heat.
I mean, real players, guys. Players that can help you win a championship. But
Right side.
there is no logic and nothing makes sense in the world, so I'm going to pick that. That's
Yeah,
how I'm
but
gonna go.
basketball is one of the few sports where in the beginning of the year you can pick out who's going to be in the finals, and
It comes out.
Yeah.
It's like the women's NCAA bracket.
Hence why
UConn's going to the
when
Final
you
Four.
look at like the Vegas betting lines, your top 2 teams every season are Golden State and Cleveland.
All right. Are you guys going to say your picks?
I would absolutely love if the stays the same and the Thunder stays the 7 seed. I have them knocking out Golden State.
I would love the Thunder to be there.
And if they knock Golden State out, I think they go.
Oh yeah.
I like Philly versus the Rockets. I think
Philly
with
versus the
Embiid
Rockets?
back. I think with Embiid back, yeah. They have some
they-
outside shooting. Embiid can shoot the 3 ball. They have J.J. Redick. When the 76ers took it to LeBron, I mean, I shouldn't say took it. LeBron put up like 44. Can't hit a free throw in the clutch, though, which ended up costing them the game. But Ben Simmons balled, J.J. Redick balled, Embiid didn't even play.
I think that's the smart thing. They did what the Pistons were doing to LeBron all those years when he couldn't get past them. It was like, let LeBron have his numbers, stop everybody else, and frustrate him. I think if a team can do that to Cleveland this year, they can beat them. Celtics, I thought were going to beat him. I thought they were going to be the team.
That
Philly's
Kyrie
a good
Irving
pick.
injury is
Exactly.
just.
But
If Kyrie's not hurt, I've got Boston going.
I was so looking forward to Cleveland versus Boston.
You need to pay more attention to the 76ers.
No,
that
that's
is the
great.
team of the future.
I was wondering why
And they're
they took
on
so
a
many
roll.
years to even
Ben
get good.
Simmons he's on the rise. He hit a little rookie peak mid-season where he was starting to kind of tail off and decline, and all of a sudden he just took it to another level.
caught his second wind.
Correct.
But yeah, I still think Rockets are too much. They're playing great. Their team chemistry's there. You know, could this finally be the year for Chris Paul?
I don't want D'Antoni to win though.
Well, he's on the right squad to be a coach.
Well, they always have these. D'Antoni always has those teams, those high-octane
wait.
offensive teams.
That Phoenix Suns team that took the Lakers to Game 7 should have been in that finals. And they should have won that championship.
Yeah, but they weren't.
Are we talking
Yeah,
about
he's always that guy.
Are we
cheap
talking about
shot
rigged referees here?
Of Steve Nash getting a freaking elbow, bloody
Which
nose.
got Amari Stoudemire ejected.
Yeah, I mean, come on. They were going to win this championship that year.
I do have a question. Do you think
I've got all the
Denver?
answers.
Do you think Denver pushes because they've been on fire?
I think they're
Do you think they push into the 8 seed?
I think they're the odd team out.
You still think they're the odd team out?
Correct. I think at home, Minnesota will take care of business with Butler back.
I honestly think Denver doesn't pass Minnesota, but I believe the Spurs fall completely out.
Really?
Yes.
Could happen.
All right, guys. We're gonna have to talk some real sports. So, damn, you see Ronda Rousey's friggin' debut? That was unbelievable.
And here comes WrestleMania.
Wow, that was insane. Yeah, she did pretty good, but
She beat Stephanie McMahon?
yeah, it was pretty hot too. I don't know. I saw it on Twitter. I didn't even watch it. But
Actually, I did watch it last night.
yeah,
You
she's pretty
did
good.
watch WrestleMania?
I did watch WrestleMania.
Wait, did Conor McGregor make a showing or not?
No, he's arrested for throwing a
Yeah,
chair
but he
through a
still
bus.
showed up at the UFC fight. He was in the with the fans, like in one of the top rows. Which
he really?
Well, I think Dana White wasn't in the
Dana
front
White
row.
was in the front row.
Do
at
you think that was
WrestleMania.
fixed?
No.
Do you think the UFC
Well, Ronda
is
Rousey?
turning into
Yeah.
WrestleMania is turning into wrestling
WrestleMania.
where they're starting to stage events like that? to
Probably. It's
get
all about
more
money.
people?
I think they're trying to
Surprise.
set up the
Businesses want money.
McGregor fight down the road to kind of build it up. But
Does
I don't think
McGregor really need to be built up? He just fought
Dude,
Floyd Mayweather.
he probably has like what a 5-year span to maximize making millions of dollars from conning everyone in the world.
That's one
He's
guy
gonna
you
take
don't
that
need to
opportunity.
build up.
I don't think the whole him throwing the dolly through a window was part of the plan. I think there was kind of some skit to get the
Yeah, and it
rumblings
took it too
going,
far.
And McGregor, the typical idiot he is, took it a step too far.
Get over here.
Just tired of these immigrants coming here and breaking the law. I can say
Build a
that.
wall.
I can say that because I am an immigrant.
Keep McGregor out.
And I don't
What do you
break the
think
law.
of? Hey, easy there, killer. What do you think of that little fiasco with Mexican meat, which is
Canelo?
which is going to ruin my Cinco de Mayo? I specifically took the next day off because I thought I was going to have a good fight to watch that night, and now I don't.
I definitely think. Do you think Triple G won the first fight?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
I thought it was hands
yeah,
down.
I think
Wait,
Canelo knows.
Triple G. I thought you meant Triple H. I mean, that was like he totally lost.
Are you still back on WrestleMania here?
We're boxing right now, all right?
Yeah,
Triple G
real
won the
sport.
first fight, and I think Canelo knows that he lost that fight, but it was given to him. So I think he definitely roided because he was scared. Because I think Triple G was going to come back the second time around and really embarrass him.
He reminded me of the Russian in Rocky IV, where Triple G just he took a couple of really big shots. You might even say he took some of his best shots, and he just kept coming and coming.
It's like a piece of iron.
And he's a smart boxer. Where Canelo's just a boxer. He doesn't adjust as the fight goes on. Triple G is one of those smart boxers where he's adjusting throughout the fight. But unlike Mayweather, he's not afraid to go and attack. That's what makes him scary.
If you guys didn't watch that fight, you guys missed one of the best boxing fights probably last 5 years.
See, that's the problem, though, when you're talking boxing now. Nobody watches it.
Have you looked at the numbers?
This was
from
the fight, though.
events?
Like, if you were going to start watching boxing, I don't watch boxing either. This was the fight.
No, the main
they built it up.
draw, but Kyle's right. Overall, the boxing numbers are down, but the main draws
the main draws are good.
Get people.
Look at Pacquiao and Mayweather a couple years back. That was
I
insane.
got caught up in that Mayweather stuff, too.
Mayweather sells all this.
Do you know I was in Australia at the time? I actually put money on Pacquiao, and then I look back, I'm like, wow, that was the dumbest freaking bet I've ever made.
Well, that's what makes
Pacquiao was
Mayweather great.
Yeah, he was out of his prime, though.
Yeah.
Essentially,
Look at the odds.
Mayweather avoided Pacquiao until he was on his decline, because that's what he does. He's very strategic, which is the exact same way he fights.
Yeah, he's
agreed.
Mayweather is. I would consider him maybe one of the best athletes of all time.
Best defensive fighter. Well, we'll see how he does in the.
Is that really happening?
I don't think it is.
I mean,
he said he would never fight
though.
again. He said the only way he fights is if it's in the octagon, MMA. He's not doing that. He would get his. I mean, I still think Ronda Rousey would whoop the what up.
No, get out of here. You saw she can't take a punch. You put her against two boxing type fighters and they knocked her out. What makes you think she can? What makes you think she's gonna go put him in a movie? She's gonna go in
Remember
there.
when the debate was Ronda Rousey could take out Floyd Mayweather in the group chat?
Freaking Joe Rogan said she can take half the guys in that weight division.
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
No, but he was like, he even admitted he made a mistake saying that. She can't take a punch.
Floyd said
obviously not now she can't, period, because, I mean, hell, she's back in the WWE.
I think a fake punch might knock her out. That's how bad she is.
Well, she did get knocked down pretty quick with one of those last night.
I didn't watch
Why do we fall?
What?
So we can learn to get back up. That's what it's all about, guys. Life lessons.
All right.
On that, guys, we're going to have to close this up. So
thank you, Alfred.
Please subscribe to us on YouTube, like us on Facebook, and in general, we have a store now. You can buy shirts from us. So, yeah, check out PulsarHorizon.com.
If you put in the comments a picture of a shirt with my face on it, let me know. I got you.
I got you, bro.
For $35.99.
Let's go White Sox.
Peace out.